Not sure why I added that in before I actually put in the commentary for this. I already have all the footage for this or whatever made for this playthrough. I did it after I made that one thing or whatever. On my oh, that one thing that was on my sister's channel. Funny how I'm playing this game on a completely different channel that has nothing to do with Shadow. I mean, Shadow's probably in the games, but not in the story. I mean, unless you're talking about free riders, but, which is a shame, but finally got a GameCube. I can use a GameCube controller now for the Dolphin emulator, and I just now got to a point where I can use a Wiimote with it as well. So I decided to do that. I guess I decided to. One of the reasons why I decided to do this was it's because of that. Because I just got it and I'm gotta use it for something, but I gotta stop using Movie Maker whenever I do this. It always makes the quality of my previous thing that I did editing and stuff even worse. I don't know, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I was changing the, radius of the, joystick. So it wouldn't be so, finicky, whenever, so sensitive whenever I'm moving it, but that might have been part of the reason why it was the controller would stop working later on, but or maybe it just does that no matter what you do. But I don't know. It sucks, but I don't know. It's the first time I really used it, but it's been a long time since I played this game with a GameCube controller. But I mean, the last time I did was like when I was like 14. You know, so that's it's been a long time. I never really got much practice with the keyboard using this emulator, but I never really played it at all. But since I figured out the stuff with this emulator, but I could have done that too. But I If this wasn't on an emulator, this would have actually qualified as a speed run. I would have beaten a couple of people. It was like 700 times on there, but I would have been near last. But I mean, it's been years since I played this game. I never got any practice with any speed run stuff, really. I mean, not like I. There's that Taz video I did or whatever with that one. You'll see what I'm talking about later if you haven't seen it. I mean, um, um, I mean, I did get some things done with that one level, which isn't really anything, but 7 hours is really slow, you know, so, no. Nobody would probably care for that trash, but I probably would try and do one, like, in the future. That's obviously way better than that, but that might not be for a while, though.
This game of tag is boring. I'm out of here. Finally decided to show up, eh? Okay, bring it on.
Spider Crew Bigfoot reporting to headquarters. Intruder has been located.
Copy that.
I've done 2 minutes 50 seconds on that level before from my memory. And I almost did get all A ranks in the game a couple of times, more than once, but nah. A couple of levels that kind of stopped me from doing that or whatever, especially whenever I'm not having like save states, you know.
Hey guys, take care. What?
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald. Now I know what's going on. The military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog!
Chaos control!
For practice, of course, but practice that stuff, get good at the whatever.
He's fast! Hey, it's not his speed. He must be using the Chaos Emerald to warn.
Shut up.
I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games. Farewell!
I'm also trying to switch between different stories and show different stuff. Yeah,
Story select. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Security breach at gate 3.
like it's for a good minute. Most of the stuff that you see in the dark story happens before. Um, the first level in the hero story, but up until the third part, I mean, there's like 5 or 6 different levels that you go through. Well, the third level in the hero story is like 5 or 6 levels that you go through before you even get to that part into the dark story. Several of them, but
Level 1 security door breach. Emergency formation. Intercept intruder.
would also restart a lot back then or whatever, you know, to get the A ranks and stuff or whatever, but it's funny how I would qualify as a speed run even it would qualify as a speed run even though it's been as long as it's been since like um you know, as long as it's been since I played with a GameCube controller, even though I played this with like a keyboard, but like 2 times, you know, which isn't anything, but I mean, it would be nice to try and see if I could get like 4 hours or something faster than that, you know. I mean, but I obviously don't know very much about speed running this game yet. But I'll learn just like I've done it with other games that I've played. But in my own time, and that the couple of runs I've done recently, just because I'm wanting to do it or whatever, you know, actually recording. I mean, using a timer with it, you know, but I'm actually trying to sit down and get as good as a time as I can possibly can, unlike what I used to before, without save states. But and I kind of did that before, but not nearly as much as I'm trying to do it now. Practically torturing myself doing it, but um, whatever. The first, I mean, the second level or whatever actually takes place before the It seems like it takes place before the first level does. It's like a flashback, and I mean, showing what Knuckles did, or but you'll see what I'm talking about there. But um, I could have did adventure before this game or whatever, but not really much happens. You don't. You're not required to know too much that happens in adventure, but in order to understand this game, but.
So this is the military's top secret weapon. It's a lot smaller than I expected. is Shadow. Since you were so kind to release me, my master, I will grant you one wish.
Now what?
Behold the true power I possess.
This is Scorpion Troops Hotshot. Enemy movement has been detected. En route to intercept and destroy.
Copy that.
Of course, I know it's illegal to use an emulator or whatever for that leaderboard and not for like zero mission, but on speedrun.com, but it's not for zero mission though. I mean, I've done it. I mean, there's stuff for there's if you put up a time on there or whatever, there's an option to say it's an emulator. I mean, you use an emulator, but I don't know why that Pacific leaderboard. I mean, doesn't. I guess I mean because if the game controller is causing issues and stuff, that's one thing. But
This is Scorpion Troops Hotshot. The enemy is
you can still use a keyboard maybe. But
full support. He is too strong.
yeah,
Pathetic humans.
putting two boxes there was kind of throwing me off, and the weak point there.
Destroying that dark robot was spectacular.
I don't know why that was
So, Shadow,
happening or whatever, but
you are the military's top secret weapon. But what did you mean when you said you will grant me a wish?
Bring more Chaos Emeralds.
Shadow, wait!
I'll be waiting for you in the central control room on the Space Colony Ark.
Eggman steals the research from a military base located on an island to the south. The military's top-secret weapon, Shadow, sealed in the space colony Ark, the 7 Chaos Emerald. When all of the keys have been collected, world conquest will be at hand. Sonic Adventure 2, The Dark Side Story. Long live the Eggman Empire.
as if she didn't need more. I already did the hero story, recorded live. That shows I did the hero story because that appears right at the end of it. But
Ready to give up, do you?
What are you talking about? That emerald's mine. You got that? The Master Emerald contains special powers that neutralize the energy of the Chaos Emeralds. That makes it very powerful. What the? Look who's calling who a thief. I came here following the signal from the Emerald. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Master Emerald, isn't it? Dr. Eggman.
So that's Dr. Egg.
Well, I guess I can use it for something. I'll just take it with me. Farewell, knucklehead.
Not if I can help it.
What?
What was that all about? And look what you did to my emerald!
I did that to prevent the Master Emerald from being stolen, you idiot. If it's in pieces, I can restore it. And by the way, that's not your emerald. Doesn't matter. I'll look into it once I get back to the base.
I despise anyone who takes jewels from me. All the world's gems are mine to keep.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Batgirl.
canon-wise, I don't think the Master Emerald is very useful anymore or whatever. I mean, it's like Knuckles doesn't really even want to. It's almost like he doesn't have an interest in guarding it, or maybe he has it on him. It's just that nobody. I mean, just that nobody I mean, there's no story point saying that he does, but like he's hiding it up his something and using it like to do some of the stuff he's able to do in some later games, but. And there's some points or whatever that it's actually, you know, in certain games like Sonic Battle where it's actually failed to stop the Chaos Emeralds, but
It's gotta be close. Only two more.
and yeah, there's that one thing too about Hypersonic being there but from what I've heard, Hypersonic's not canon. That's only a feature that you get with if you did something with Sonic 3 and Knuckles back then. But when it was originally created, for the original system, but it'd be cool to give Knuckles like some other uses with the Master Emerald, like he could use it to heal people or something, you know. But I don't know. Make it where he can um have abilities like chaos control in a way that'd make him as strong as he is. But I don't know. Nothing's really. I don't know. Because he is as strong as he is or whatever, he gets abilities that allow him to break down. I don't know. I think you understand what I'm saying there, but like destroy mountains and stuff like he's been seen, like he's done in other games or whatever. But whenever you're actually playing in video games and levels and stuff, he's not able to do that. Really sucks that that emerald had to spawn there. That first emerald, I think I barely caught it or whatever. Like that's I think another reason why um
Easy for me.
why I even well it shows up there sometimes whenever you I remember it does, but whenever random it's random how whenever those things appear. Whenever you level select, I know that's a thing, but I don't know if it's a thing like if you I don't know if you're just playing stories and over again. Like I never did that before. Really need to practice that if I want to speed run this game, you know. And another example is that I passed by that another emerald back there or whatever, like 3 different times or whatever, and I see it whenever editing and stuff or whatever, real easily or whatever, but I didn't notice it or whatever, whenever playing this. In this level, but. I don't remember if a prompt's supposed to show up for this. I had to grab it, but it'd be really easy to get the actual PC version though, and not emulate this, but pretty sure. See, I have to do that sometimes, or I'll reload that, and I mean open that up, and then the controller starts working. It's really weird. It's probably just better to use a keyboard. I don't know if that keeps happening. Maybe I just have to keep it on 100 radius, but for it not to, I don't know. I haven't tried it out very much, but
I found him.
I wonder if I'm actually gonna try and get my GED. I just tried doing like high school online, or like getting my diploma online, like my high school diploma, instead of just getting my GED. But because I know you can do that. I mean, I've heard people who've gotten it like in their 30s, but doing that. But I don't know. Certain reasons that why I probably would rather do that. Maybe I don't know.
Those idiots will never find my hidden base inside this pyramid. Let's take care of business here first, then get inside.
Was my controller working there? I don't know. I had there's a power up you get later on, and I forgot that I didn't have it because I'm just playing a different story, and power ups don't carry over from different characters, obviously. But for some reason, Tails has the exact same uh, he's in an egg walker, so to speak, or whatever, for some reason, which is really weird. In the previous game, you can play it as Tails, actually, and not him in an egg walker. I mean, he did much better not being in one, you know. I don't know. In that game. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool for Eggman to be in one, but it makes sense, you know, because like the things he uses in the past and boss fights and stuff, you know. But sucks because whenever you die, you lose all your points that you had built up or whatever. Um, so if you die like near a really late checkpoint, um, you know, before the gold ring or whatever, you know, you're probably gonna get a low rank, so really sucks. And if you're trying to go for A ranks, it's probably just better to restart, you know, but no. If you do die, but no. And if you're dying at a speed run, well, no. It's probably better not to die, really, you know, in a speed run, obviously, but I think this is one of the few games that you can actually die in a speed run, but you're allowed to because there are checkpoints anyways. But It's better that you don't die, obviously. Because it's faster. And that weird rule also on the leaderboard where you had to have 4 lives whenever you start out at the beginning. I think I did. I think I had that amount of lives whenever I finished the hero story, but 4 or less? I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was 4 or less, but can't have more than 4 for some weird reason. I mean, I seen that Jethawk. I mean, Jethawk. I seen that Jet Fox 89 changed his name. Not sure why. I mean, I know I named my channel what it is. Um, hope I didn't cause anything because whatever. It's because how similar the names are, but Jet Fox is Jet Fox 89 is a plane, you know, and Jet Hawk is, you know, that's a baseball team, you know, so. And 69 is just to make it a little funnier, but.